I'm Mike Woods with J&S Landscape. We're making a video today with one of my clients who has tried to figure out how to turn on and turn off her sprinkler system. She's working through it. She's made great progress, and along with her and her trusty iPhone, we're creating a little video that can help you turn your sprinklers on and turn them off successfully each year. If you have questions or you need repairs, call us at J&S Landscape 303-472-1096. Thanks for looking at our video. The purpose of this video is to help you turn your sprinkler system on in the springtime. You want to do that once all danger of frost has passed. If you want to start watering before that occurs, you can simply wrap that outside pipe called your pressure vacuum breaker. It's copper or PVC, and it's coming out the side of your house. You can wrap it in bat insulation, a couple of blankets, stick a plastic bag over it, garbage bag, and cover it so it'll stay warmer a few degrees in the evening, in the nighttime when it freezes. The controller is a timer that starts the sprinklers and the drip irrigation zones, and it turns them on and shuts them off. It allows you to start times throughout the week, and for each day of the week, you can choose when you want them to start and how long you want them to run. Your irrigation controller is in the garage. It could be in the basement, or it could be on an outside wall. So here's your controller. This one is called a rain dial. Irritrol is another brand. Hunter, Rainbird, many types of clocks. They're all pretty good. They're all simple. Generally, there's a quick reference card in each one. You can go online and look for how to run your system by just putting in the brand of your clock and maybe the model number. In every clock, there's a face that opens up, and there's a 9-volt battery that powers your system for 1 year. It holds the memory, so if you've put in 10 minutes on a zone, it's going to remember 10 minutes. If the battery's old, it'll probably just go back and has an automatic program that'll run, but it's generally not enough to run the system and keep your grass looking green or your plants healthy. It's just to keeping them from dying. You don't need to know anything in here. Turn your switch from off to run on. If the cycles are the same as last year, you're pretty much done working with your clock or controller. If the cycles need to be changed, you'll need to learn how to do that or read your instruction manual, as clocks vary quite a bit. Your landscaper might be able to help you as well. Okay, now it looks like you've got your irrigation controller turned on. That's great. We're doing fine so far. It is going to send messages to the rest of the system, but nothing's going to happen until we've turned your water on. The next part of the video is going to be about how to turn the water on in your house. You're probably going to want to have a flathead screwdriver and maybe a pliers or a channel lock in case you need to turn something that's frozen up a little bit from the winter.
This is the regulator.
It regulates how intense the water comes into your house from the city. This is the on-off handle for turning your sprinklers on. So when it goes down, it turns the water on to your outside pressure vacuum breaker. So down here at the bottom of this pressure valve, you notice this is where the water comes into your house. This is very, very important to know. If something ever happens outside, inside the house that you can't turn off from inside the house, you can always turn it off here. This is your pressure vacuum breaker. It's made of copper generally. These are what we call petcocks, and you can see the little slotted screwdriver adjustments on them. You can see that it has big handles here and harder to see, but there's another big handle back here. When the system is on, you want these big handles to be in alignment and parallel to the pipe that they're attached to. You'll also want to take the petcocks and turn them also so that they're parallel with the pipe here and the pipe here, and that turns them off. If you turn the water on inside and come out and see that these are spraying, just take your flathead screwdriver and make that adjustment. Finally, there's a drain here at the bottom of this system. Some of them have that, some do not. And this area up here is your bell valve, and sometimes that can crack. There's easy replacement parts to get at an irrigation supply store. Some people wonder, what is the deal with this pressure vacuum breaker? Well, here's what it's designed to do. It's designed to keep water from re-entering your water system through the heads of the sprinklers or some other way and putting contaminated water back into your drinking water or your house water. So it's a very, very essential thing for the health of your family, and you want to make sure that it's kept up to date and always working. This is what most valve box looks like these days. Sometimes older systems can have smaller ones or small round ones. What we want to look for in your valve box that's important for you is a handle that turns off a drain. So when you turn your system on the spring, you want to keep it from blowing water out after you've turned on the water. Here's the filter, just a little piece of mesh. It goes in there, and what we want to do is get this set up now to operate for the springtime. So we're going to screw the top back on. And you notice there's a little ball valve in here. Maybe you can see it. And there's an adjustment that closes and opens it. You want it closed. Please search your whole yard for valve boxes. There's always going to be one or two near your pressure vacuum breaker, generally, but there could be additional valve boxes scattered about your yard. Old systems might have quite a few, and they were usually small, round valve boxes. Newer systems can hold up to 4 or 5 valves in a box, and they'll be generally congregated together if a professional installer put them in. Here's another way to find your valve boxes. You've turned your system on and it's pressurized. After you've done that, give yourself 5-10 minutes and walk your yard. There may be a place where you see a growing puddle, and it might be that the valve box is at the bottom of that puddle. You haven't turned off the drain, so the water is charging out of there and filling up the valve box. All you have to do is go back to your pressure vacuum breaker, the copper thing coming out of your house, turn off one of the big long handles, and it should shut down any water coming out of the valve box. Okay, we've turned the water on from inside the house. It's flowing through your pressure vacuum breaker, and you've seen that all of your valve boxes are solid. There's no leaks. You want to go back to your clock and turn it on and see if you have what's called a 2-minute test. Usually your dial will turn around, but you can just turn on each zone and watch it for a few minutes and make sure all the heads have popped up, or that you can hear. You can't always see the drip irrigation, but you can hear it as you walk along those areas. It's a good thing to have a rough map of your irrigation system. So if this is your first year and there's no map of your irrigation system, start by figuring out what is zone 1 and how many heads there are and where they are. Make it just a crude map that you can post up by your irrigation box. It'll save you many steps and a lot of head scratching as you program your clock in future years. We're walking the yard looking at each zone. If you see some heads that don't look like they're running full, or they're spraying odd, or they're putting out great big drops and not going very far, you can simply walk up to that head, grab a hold of it, and pull that nozzle off and clean it out. Unscrew it, blow through it, see that you can feel the air go through it as you blow into it, and clean out any little debris that might be in there. Sometimes that's all it is. So if you notice, this head can be adjusted. Right now it's not spraying, it's full diameter here. There's usually a collar below the nozzle that can be adjusted so that you're getting full coverage to the sides. You can also take and ratchet this so it hits back over here. So you can also adjust the nozzle to spray out farther, up to a point, and simply with a small screwdriver to open it up or close it up. Each head is also marked, or each nozzle rather, is marked. This is a 15-foot, it's very hard to see, and it's called the VAN, a V-A-N, variable angle nozzle. This is a Rainbird type head. There are other heads. I'm not going to go into all of them, but this is a typical one that most landscapers use. We are people who can come out and work on your sprinklers or work on anything. We do complete landscape design. We have complete landscape installation services, and you can reach us at 303-472-1096. Thank you.